Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope everything's good wherever you guys are. So guys, I've got some news for you guys before we get into the video. So guys, I said the other day that I was getting a lot of people that were messaging me about not getting notifications. I'm still getting that. What I would say is that the only information that I've been told by one of my subscribers is what you've got to do is you've got to go onto the bell icon, press the bell icon. If you haven't pressed the bell icon, make sure to press the bell icon. But you also have to click all, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you have to click. There's three options. They give you three options. I think personalize, one at the bottom, and then there's all. I think you have to click all, and that gives you a notification for all the videos I do. So go and click all. I think that's what it is. And that's probably why some of you might not be getting, but I don't know, because I can't say for 100% because some of you are saying that you used to get notifications and then it's just stopped. I've had Jim message me, one of my subscribers, saying that I used to get notifications for the last couple of weeks. I haven't got anything. I don't know what's going off. Ross Smith, who actually messaged me yesterday, said that I thought maybe you had gone quiet for a while. I hadn't got your notification, but I got this one. But I didn't understand why that is. So yeah, just make sure that you check, the bell icon and you've pressed all. There's not much else I can do in terms of why that is. I don't know. Maybe it's just something that YouTube do every now and then to certain channels where I don't know, to be honest. So yeah, so all I would say is smash the bell icon, press all, so you do get notified. And if you aren't getting notifications, you know that I upload at least 2 videos a day. So and you know what time I upload it. Generally 4 to 8 UK time, I'll upload those 2 videos. So what I would say to you guys is just check my channel. Just go onto the search Imran Mir TV and you'll see my channel. You'll see the new videos if you're not getting notifications. That's the only thing I can say to you guys. But I don't know why the notifications will just randomly stop. But that's what I've been told by somebody. So yeah, if I was you, try that and see if it works. If not, then message me. Ryan Lamb's another one that messaged me yesterday, said I'm not getting notifications. Again, press the bell icon, click all, and it should help. But yeah, I want to split this video to 2 parts. Guys, yesterday on the live stream, firstly, I want to thank everybody that came on the live stream. It was a great live stream. Enjoyed it. Thanks to Money Brown coming on. D-Money, as always. Appreciate it. A lot of subject got touched, but a subject that I wanted to talk about is, can Mr. Canelo Alvarez beat Artur Beterbiev? I'm going to also talk about AJ Usyk as well, which has been officially announced. But let's talk about Canelo first and Beterbiev. It's funny because this fight is now seen as such a one-sided fight in favor of Artur Beterbiev. It's almost as if Canelo would be stupid getting in there with him. It's almost seen as so one-sided and a pointless type fight where Beterbiev would just blitz Canelo Alvarez. And that's what it's become, because Canelo's just got beat by Bivol, even though Bivol's got a different style. But I will say this, I honestly think, and I said this previously, I always thought Beterbiev would be such a difficult fight for Canelo. Just the size, the strength, the power. And now it seems even more so, because what we saw is that the strength and the size of these guys at 175, they don't have much respect. Or from the look at Bivol, he didn't even have a lot of respect for Canelo's power. And Beterbiev is more of a brute than Bivol. And a lot of you guys saying, well, Canelo has a great defense, he has great skills. I agree with that, but Beterbiev is going to push Canelo back, and Canelo will have to fight on his back foot, which Canelo can do. But as soon as Canelo's back hit the ropes, which Canelo against Golovkin the first time did, he was fighting a lot on the ropes. His back was touching the ropes. If he does that against Beterbiev, he's in big trouble, Canelo, because Beterbiev will just pummel you. And that's the worry for, I think that's the worry, that would be the worry for Canelo against Beterbiev. I think also we just don't know how Canelo will fare to that kind of power. Now, Money Brown made a great point that Canelo's got a granite chin. He has got a granite chin. I'd give Canelo that. He has got a granite chin, but again, it doesn't mean if his granite chin gets hit by Anthony Joshua that he's going to be able to take it. You know, there's even a granite chin can only take so much as well. And Beterbiev seems to have the kind of power. Joe Smith had a great chin. Joe Smith don't have the defense or the skills of Canelo, but he definitely has a good chin. And he's never been down before. And Beterbiev just stomped him like he didn't even exist. Like, stomped him like he was a bum. You know, it was brutal kind of performance. So I don't know whether Canelo Alvarez would even be able to take this man's power, because he hits so hard. He's so much of a brute, and he's a pressure fighter. It would be very difficult for Canelo Alvarez. Very, very difficult for Canelo Alvarez to box. I think Canelo would have to hurt him. And Money Brown made a great point where he'd have to hit him with body shots. He'd have to really, really hurt him. But it's a very, very difficult fight. It'd be one of those fights where if Canelo was to win, his legacy would go through the roof. But be honest with you, I wouldn't be picking him to beat Beterbiev. No. Even a lot of Mexican fans who were on my channel, on my live stream, were saying that I'm a Canelo fan and I love Canelo, but you know, Beterbiev would knock him out in 4 or 5 rounds. That's how how much of a brute Beterbiev is a monster. I don't think there's any denying that. I think people can see. Some people think Bivol might outbox him. I just can't see it. I just can't see how anyone goes 12 rounds with that guy under 175, 175 or under. I don't see how anyone goes 12 rounds. I think the guy's too good a boxer, and he's a big puncher. Like, I think if he was not a skilled pressure fighter, I can say, but Tim Bradley pointed it out. Tim Bradley, even though he's picking Bivol, which I just don't see how Bivol can beat him. Like, even though Bivol has good footwork, and Canelo got to Bivol in that fight, and Beterbiev will get to Bivol. And when Beterbiev, the difference is Canelo didn't have the power to hurt Bivol. Beterbiev has the power to hurt Bivol. That's the issue. Beterbiev has the kind of power. Like, he's just hitting these guys, and these guys are turning all into jelly. Literally, he's hitting them, and their legs are going underneath them, and they're like all over the shop. So what's to say that Bivol will be able to take that power? There's nothing to suggest that Bivol will be able to take Beterbiev's power. Fighters at 175 just don't seem like they can take Beterbiev's power. And even if you're a good boxer, he finds a way to land those shots. So I just don't know. I just don't see how Bivol will be able to keep him off for 12 rounds and outbox him, because it's easier said than done. Because you're in with a very intelligent wrecking ball. He's not just a wild bull. This is a very intelligent bull. You know, he's a lot better than what people give him credit for, his boxing ability. So to be brutally honest with you, I don't see how anybody under 175 or 175 or under beats this guy. I think he's too good. I think he's too good, and that's just my honest opinion. That's not taking away from the talent that there is there. But this guy's too much of a monster. He's too strong. He hits too hard. He's too skilled. I just think he beats everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks everybody out under 8 rounds. You know, I don't know, has he ever gone 8 rounds? I'm not sure he has. I'm not sure he's gone 8 rounds. His fights have all ended like, he literally just smashed Joe Smith to bits. And Joe Smith isn't that bad a fighter. Joe Smith would give people tough fights. Like, I've seen Joe Smith fight. No one's been able to do that to Joe Smith. Nobody. I'm just shocked at how he just battered him. You know, don't get me wrong, Joe Smith was on a kind of a suicide mission there by fighting him. The way he fought him, it was unbelievable. Like, just going in there and swinging for the fences and looking to have a firefight with Beterbiev was never going to end well. But, you know, I think probably Joe Smith realized that was the best chance he had. So he just thought, let me fight fire with fire. And he ended up getting burnt himself, because Beterbiev is just so much more intelligent than he is. Beterbiev isn't just going to slug it out, throwing wild shots. Beterbiev is a lot more intelligent than that. And Beterbiev can fight off his back foot. He can box off his back foot. he's just a very skilled fighter. You know, he's a guy that's had a heap load of amateur experience. So this isn't somebody that's just a brute power guy. You know, you have guys that have power. But this isn't just a guy that has power. This is a guy that is a lot more versatile than that because of his amateur experience. He has a whole heap of amateur experience, and he's been in there with all the best. He's been in there with Bivol, Usyk, you know, he's been in there with everybody. You learn a lot as an amateur, you know, and Joe Smith didn't really have that amateur pedigree. So that plays a big part. You know, Joe Smith is more crude. He goes in there. He hasn't got that kind of skill that Beterbiev. Beterbiev is a very skillful fighter. And I think if you watch the fight closely, you'll be able to notice that during the fight, you can tell that Beterbiev he's more than just a puncher. He's not just a puncher. You know, this guy's a very, very skilled fighter. Very intelligent fighter. So, yeah, for me, I think he's gonna. I don't think anyone's gonna beat him. And in terms of Canelo, I can't see Canelo beating him. Like, I think the only chance Canelo would have, he'd have to like hit him with some big body shots, hit him with something huge. But if Canelo doesn't really affect him in terms of Canelo's power don't really affect him, he's just gonna walk through Canelo. And I think he could hurt Canelo as well. I don't care how tough Canelo is. Canelo's tough, but he's never been in there with anyone as big a puncher and as skilled as Beterbiev. This would be by far the biggest puncher that Canelo's ever been in with. And I don't know whether Canelo can handle that. You know, we've got to be realistic. Beterbiev is a different gravy right now. His power is stupid. You know, and it's not the kind of power that puts you to sleep. It's the kind of power where he just beats the crap out of you. He's hurting you and beating the crap out of you. You know, and basically bullying you around the ring. That's basically what Beterbiev does. When I look at Beterbiev, that's what effectively he does. He bullies you, batters you, just, you know, literally, he's a brute. He's a brute. Yeah, man, I literally can't see anyone defeating this guy. But, you know, sometimes when you see a fighter like that, you know, you have to see him beaten to believe it. Do you know what I mean? You have to actually see him beaten. And listen, Bivol might be that guy. Bivol might be that guy. I think Canelo might be too small, irrespective of how skillful he is. I think he might be too small for that weight class. Because both Bivol and Beterbiev, they're not just big and strong. They're very skilled fighters as well. So Canelo might just be too small for those guys, you know? He might just be too small. So Canelo size might be a big problem. But I would still like to see him fight Beterbiev. You know, some people say, well, D-Money said, why do you want to see him fight Beterbiev? It's not the fact that Canelo's got losses on his record. If he loses again, it's not going to hurt him that much if he loses to Beterbiev. Yeah, people will troll him. But sometimes guys like Canelo Alvarez, they'd look at the challenge. They think about, if I was to win, look at what I gain. If he was to be... Because now after losing to Bivol, firstly, if he was to win that fight, that'd be massive. But beating Beterbiev would take it to another level because Canelo Alvarez wouldn't be given much of a chance in that fight against Beterbiev. Trust me. Most people would think Beterbiev would walk through him now. Especially after the way he performed against Bivol. Even though style makes fights, Canelo would be a massive underdog. Even the bookies would have him an underdog in that fight. Because Beterbiev is massive and he's strong, he can punch, he's a very, very good fighter. So Canelo would probably go into that fight as an underdog. And quite a big underdog, possibly, now. So Canelo might like the challenge. He might want to take that fight and think, you know what, I can prove people wrong. You know, D-Money was right as well. Maybe he should stick to his own weight class rather than fighting a beast like Beterbiev. But again, that's why you've got to respect Canelo, because Canelo isn't taking the safe options. Canelo is putting himself at risk and fighting everybody in that sense. If he was to fight Beterbiev, that would be the most dangerous fight he can get in from 175 below. That's the worst fighter that you want to get in the ring with, because he just wipes people out. So, yeah, man, Beterbiev's a great fighter. I wouldn't be picking Canelo to beat him, but, you know, how does Canelo beat him? I think he'd have to land some huge body shots. I think he'd have to box really smart. He'd have to hit Beterbiev with big shots. He'd have to box and move. He can't stand and trade with him. He can't have his back on his ropes like he did in the Golovkin fight. He'd have to be on his feet. And also he can't run out of gas. If he runs out of gas, Beterbiev will run him over. So, you know, Canelo, it would just be an all-round, a very difficult fight, a very taxing fight for Canelo. But yeah, that's my take on it. Let's talk about Joshua v. Usyk. So Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk's fight has been confirmed. Great fight, August 20th. A fight that, you know, we all want to watch. Anthony Joshua's made some changes. He's saying that he's saying all the right things, saying that I'm going to make the adjustments. I'm going to run Usyk over. He's saying all the right things. He's acting like I don't know whether he's going to have enough time to implement what he wants to implement. But for me, it's not so much a technical thing. For me, it's a more mental thing. I've always said that I think Anthony Joshua, since losing to Andy Ruiz, isn't the same fighter. He's become gun-shy. He's worried about throwing too many punches, so he doesn't get hit, and also he doesn't run out of gas. And that's the big issue. That's a mental issue. Now, he needs to get out of that, and he needs to stop thinking that I'm going to run out of gas if I throw combinations. I'm going to get hit with shots. You're going to get hit with shots regardless. Whether you're tentative or not, you're going to get hit. But Anthony Joshua's situation reminds me of a bit of a driver that has been through a crash that keeps getting flashbacks and is not able to overcome that barrier. So when Robert Garcia said that Anthony Joshua is a mental issue, I agree, it is a mental issue. It's how Anthony Joshua is able to overcome that defeat and able to get back to where he was prior to losing to Andy Ruiz. People will say that he had issues from the Klitschko fight, yes, but since the Andy Ruiz fight, it's become even more transparent. You know, you can tell that he has become even more gun-shy and he's afraid to let the hands go. So that has become even more apparent, if I'm totally honest with you. It's quite clear to see. It's quite clear to see that Anthony Joshua is not the same guy. So how are they going to be able to fix him to the point where he's able to go in there and be the Anthony Joshua old? In my opinion, the only chance he has is he's going to have to run Usyk over. He's going to have to go in there, fight dirty, fight tough, be hard. And that's not Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's a counter-puncher. See, people say, oh, fight like Derek Chisora. He doesn't fight like Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora is a better pressure fighter than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is a counter-puncher. He sets you up for the big shot. Anthony Joshua is not a guy that just goes forward and starts letting his hands go. Anthony Joshua is a smart fighter. He's a counter-puncher. He's a guy that waits for his opportunity. Look what he did with Povetkin. You know, the jab to the body, then he came over the top with the right hand. That's what Joshua does. Joshua's a smart, but the problem is Usyk's a much more smarter fighter. He's faster, he's quicker, he's sharper. So Anthony Joshua, you're basically asking him to do something that he doesn't do. And that's why when people say just go in there and run him over, Anthony Joshua doesn't do that. So the fact that even if he was good at that, he may not beat Usyk, right? But the fact that he's not good at that style and he has his own style, you're asking him to do something that he doesn't really do that well, or he's not used to doing, and trying to go in there and beat Usyk. So it's doubly hard because for me, he has to fight a fight that he doesn't really normally fight. So I don't give him a big shot in this fight. And people may say, oh, you're being harsh. No. I think Usyk is too good. It's got nothing to do with being an Usyk fanboy. Usyk's just too good. It was quite clear the first time that he beat him so easy. The second time, this isn't Andy Ruiz. This is a much more skilled fighter. Usyk isn't Andy Ruiz. Usyk is one of the best fighters in the world. Usyk's just a great fighter. But then having said that, some of you pointed out that Usyk was busted up. Again, I don't really look at the fact that Usyk was busted up, because if you look at Anthony Joshua, he didn't look that busted up. And he took a beating in there. If you look at the amount of shots that he was landed on him, he took a beating. But yeah, Usyk looked more busted up. Some people just mark up more than others. So yeah, Anthony Joshua did land shots. Sometimes you can get a cut. A punch lands, a jab lands on the right spot. It cuts your skin. It looks like you've taken a bigger beating than you have. right? I remember Mayweather fought Maidana the second time. Mayweather had swollen lips. And Mayweather looked like he had been beat up badly. But he actually hadn't. Sometimes it just happens. You get caught with a punch in the right spot and your lips swell up and it looks like, whoa, you've been in an absolute war. I wouldn't say that was an absolute war. I wouldn't say that Usyk was beat up in that. I just think maybe he got caught with a couple of jabs, cut his skin. But I don't think it's a case where, oh, Anthony Joshua, look, he had him, Usyk's face was a mess. That doesn't mean that this time that Anthony Joshua might land more, but Usyk might come out looking more cleaner. It doesn't really, to be honest, what someone's face looks like after the fight doesn't really tell you the full story, does it? Because Anthony Joshua probably wasn't as marked as Usyk was. But yeah, Anthony Joshua got hit a lot in that fight. Some people just mark up more than others. So, again, coming back to it, for me, it's just the skill level. I just think Usyk is just much better. Even though Joshua's bigger, I just think Usyk has the better skills. He has the better footwork, faster hands, and probably better where he is mentally right now. Now, people may say, well, the Ukraine thing might have affected him. The war that's going on might have affected him. I'm not sure. I think Usyk is a very mentally strong character. So I don't think that's going to affect him. I think that's going to make him stronger. So we'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, it's a good fight. It's been sealed. It's been done. And now we wait. For how this fight entails. We've got, what's the date? So it's June, July, it's August. So we got 2 months. So exactly 2 months today. 2 months today, the fight would happen. So yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share the video, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.